Hello, this is Daniel Raymond, the voice behind Ray's Guide. 3.23.0 seems to be reaching the point of being opening to bigger PTU waves, and it looks like the features that are going to be put off have already or can be presumed to be. This is not to say that there might not be some small surprises like a new ship or two at ILW, but the feature set seems complete enough to create the next edition of my Essentials videos, which are intended to be one quick video to bring you up to speed if you haven't been following closely, or the video to share if your friends need a quick briefing. But even with editing and combining and many things postponed to 3.23.x, the Essentials list for this release is far longer than any other I have done. I usually try to organize these in the order in which you will encounter them or need them. Number 1, Vulkan. It is now implemented, but the DX11 is still the default. It appears to work fine, though, and even the current unoptimized version has small frame rate improvements. So unless your system can't support it, go ahead and right from the main menu, first time in, go into Options, Graphics, and switch it. You will then have to restart the game, which is why you should do it right from the start, but don't be surprised if you are asked to update your drivers. Most graphics cards had their DX11 drivers finished many years ago, but Vulkan is much more active development and as a standard. Number 2, DLSS and FSR. While you're there and looking at the Vulkan setting, you might see that there are new settings for the 3 different upscaling technologies. There is CIG's proprietary TSR, AMD's open standard FSR, and NVIDIA's proprietary DLSS. The CIG TSR is the default, but so far good results have been reported using AMD's and NVIDIA's technology on their appropriate graphics cards. Number 3, things look better, with or without Vulkan. There's nothing particularly you have to do, but take time to appreciate it. Clouds look better, water looks better, lighting around space stations look better, and many others. Number 4, you look better. The new character creator is in the game, and the degree of customization of skin tones, facial features, skin textures, eyes, hairstyles, beard styles, hair coloring, cosmetics. Every detail you can imagine, except there's one hairstyle I wanted that is still not available. Simply the Picard.
Make it so.
Number 5, pick your home city with care. Having a personal hangar has been put off until 3.23.1 or later, but in the latest SCL, they made a point that once you pick a home city, your personal hangar would be there until the next wipe. And one shouldn't presume that there would be a wipe between 3.23.0 and 3.23.1 or 2. So when you pick your home city at the start of 3.23.0, you may be picking your personal hangar location, even if the personal hangar locations aren't in this release. So pick as if you are. Number 6, how you interact with almost everything changes. This will take a lot of getting used to. Almost everything is look at the item and tap the key that hovers, usually the F key. Holding the F key and pressing the right mouse button opens up the inner thought wheel. This is why if you just want to take the default action, you just tap the key, because the action is initiated by the key up, not the key down. The reason is that the key down could be part of wanting to use the context menu. There are a few exceptions to everything interacting differently, and one of the main ones is the elevators, which, because there are so many floors to select from, still operate as the hold the F key and click on the floor. Number 7, how you interact with buying things has changed. You hover over the item and a standard purchasing information screen hovers. You then quick buy by pressing and holding the F key. The shopping kiosk works just as before. Number 8, your first-person view of the world, also known as the visor, even though it is explained as a high-tech contact lens, has changed. The 4 corners from the upper left are the dynamic minimap, chat in the middle left, health-related information in the lower left, weapons information in the lower right, hints and prompts in the middle right, mission status in the upper right, and a new format for alerts in the center top, along with, hold on there, a compass display. Number 9, your Mobiglas has almost entirely been redesigned. Although 2 pages, comms and vehicle loadout, are holdovers from the old design, the rest have been rebuilt and are more friendly, and the home page now has a summaries of the detail pages that link to those pages, in addition to the persistent buttons at the footer. Number 10, there is a new facility map, which is a larger version of the mini-map on your visor. The facility level map is dynamic. You see doors open and close, shuttles arriving, etc. You can rotate it by holding the left button and moving, and shift the position by holding the right mouse button and moving. 2 key features here are the pin and route. The way these work is that you first position your mouse over the location you want, and a circle will appear on the floor centered on your cursor. You then tap the T key to create a marker and name it, or you tap the R key and have it create a route from there to wherever you are. Number 11, zooming out with the scroll wheel from the facility map takes you to the new completely reworked star map. And apart from the vastly improved readability of the new star map, the key feature that you'll be using over and over again is the search bar. Type in a partial or full name of your destination and then pick from the list and select the route button. Now, if the route button does not work, it is likely for the usual suspects, that you aren't in a location that can quantum jump, so either gain altitude or navigate to a nearby orbital marker, and the calculation will then be easier for the computer. Number 12, IFCS safeties. If your landing gear is down, your speed will automatically be limited to about 30 meters per second by the IFCS, higher if you use boost. Obviously, the biggest implication is you raise your gear as soon as you're clearly off the pad, and you wait until the very final most approach before lowering your gear. But there may be other occasions where quickly engaging a low speed limit may become useful, like when close maneuvering around salvage and mining asteroids. Number 13, SCM and NAV Modes, also known as Master Modes. Standard Control Mode is the new title of SCM, and it is the speed where you can use guns, missiles, scanners, mining, and salvaging. It is also the speed where your shields are effective. It can be temporarily boosted. NAV mode allows the max speed of your ship, but your shields and all the rest are not available. You switch to NAV mode by turning on your quantum drive by holding the B key. Note that the mode change is not instant. You can switch out of NAV mode by also turning off the quantum drive by holding the B key. 14, because holding the B key is now how you turn on and off the quantum drive, how you actually engage quantum travel to the destination is now a long left mouse button press. If you are like me, it will take a long time to unlearn the muscle memory of hitting the B key for quantum travel, which will now just turn off your quantum drive. Number 15, the former cruise control has been replaced with a new sticky throttle mode that I call the cruise throttle. You engage and disengage the cruise throttle with the left Alt-C. In cruise mode, when you are raising and lowering the target speed of the throttle, and when you let go of the throttle or stop pressing the W or S keys, the target speed stays where it is rather than returning to zero as it does with the standard non-sticky throttle. The mouse wheel, which is used to set the cruise speed, now sets a maximum cap speed. Note also that the target speed can be reduced below zero, in which case you will now start moving, perhaps rapidly, backwards. So keep track of what throttle mode you're in and where your throttle is at. Now, in the standard throttle mode, there are now hotkeys for half and full throttle positions. Note that these set a throttle position, not a speed, while the cruise throttle sets a speed, not a position. Number 17, there are a lot of gunnery changes. There is a precision targeting mode that zooms into the target and lets you aim at sub-targets. Most guns that are on some sort of external mount, rather than built into the hull, are now gimbaled. Turrets now gimbal their guns in addition to the turret itself being able to move. There is an auto-targeting feature now that will automatically target the next hostile target in your view. To summarize the new targeting, tap T to reset the target in view and iterate, long press T to enable or disable auto-targeting, R cycles through sub-targets, left Alt-R disables sub-targeting, 4 sets to the current attacker and iterates, and 5 sets to the closest hostile and iterates. Number 18, there is now a special system for looting in FPS combat, allowing for direct interaction with loot items and easier moving items directly from locations inside, say, the backpack of the looted person to particular locations on you. In addition, FPS manipulations include being able to reload from magazines in your backpack and a command to consolidate all your half-empty magazines into a limited number of full ones. Number 19, Dynamic Crosshairs is another FPS improvement that uses the visor on certain military-grade helmets to give an idea where your shot would hit without having to aim down sight or use a laser pointer. This will be particularly important if you are using an eye-tracking device, as the center of the screen might be moving about more. Number 20, the first wild animals in the game come along with big game hunting. The Copion is a canine about the size of a wolf, and the Marlock is a large flying creature. Both are introduced species as part of terraforming, and so each needs selective culling to avoid overpopulation, and thus there are hunting missions available on Hurston and Microtech. The Hurston missions so far have specific caves that need to be cleaned out, while the Microtech missions simply assign a particular number of authorized takings and leave it to you to find where they are, although they do show up in your scanner as small white arrowheads. If you are taking the cave nests, remember to bring some flares to leave as breadcrumbs, and be careful. The Copion won't kill you, but the cave might. EVA is now using the head-forward Ironman style movement rather than the upright NASA style EVA. This means that you can move through tight spaces with less problems, but what may be more welcome is that the transitions to and from your ship's artificial gravity to 0G are smooth and easy. Number 22, the Arena Commander Engineering Experimental Mode is a special area in Arena Commander that will let you play around and get familiar with the fuse boxes and engineering display that will soon be part of Star Citizen for all multi-crew ships. So worth some time starting familiar with it. In addition, there are 5 new racetracks in Arena Commander, and there are now custom lobbies and a number of other small changes. And number 23, distribution centers. These massive facilities are making their first appearance in the game on Hurston and Microtech. They aren't yet doing all the missions and events that CIG has set out for them, but there are 2. Principally in this release, they are places that delivery missions can utilize, and there are FPS missions to dislodge criminals who have taken over some part of the facility. There are certainly more to come in future releases. And that's it. 23 essential things to know for 3.23. And that was even with combining things that I might have kept separate for a typical build, even after several things have been postponed. And now for an update on our giveaways. We have the special membership to help cover travel costs, to have the channel have live CitizenCon coverage with its own giveaway for a Hull C, plus our regular Grow the Channel giveaways for giving some lucky player the Zippy Zazzy Zaftig Zephyr, the Zeus 2 cargo, and the marvelous multiplayer mining meta, the Arasta. 1 entry per video, just be a member for automatic entry, or subscribe and comment with the secret word. And the secret word for this video is a hairstyle that I'm still looking to see in the game. Fly safe, keep it real, and I'll see you in the verse. This is Daniel Raymond for Ray's Guide.